even the police officers wengi, even the ones who arrested me, then on the day nilienda parliament, they were saying you are doing something nice, unatutetea. Yeah, so but now ni waezi ongea, unaona. Yeah, people are coming at my place at night, people are following me. Kuna siku wenye sitaki niseme ni kama ni coincidence ama ni nini, like I was walking huko Kikuyu, then mtu alikuja na gari, nilikuwa nimesimama kando, akatoka kwa barabara akatry kunihit. Yeah, I was being followed kila time. Nakuja natafuta watu, mtu wangu wa Ndudhi anapigiwa, wanaenda kwake, wanatafuta usiku. So nika feel like easy ni vitu zifai kufanyika in this generation.
June 2024 will be aged in Kenya's political history. A generation, that is Gen Z, did extraordinary things to change the political landscape as well as the governance landscape. And in the same breath, they cropped up extraordinary people. Today, we sit down with one of them. He is a uniformed officer, but he joined his peers, the Gen Zs, in the protests. That has not been heard of before. Here is Shakur, the cop. It's an alias, so he will give us his name as we delve into his life. My name is Kingori Wangeshi. Here is our conversation. Sasa, Shakur.
Bro.
I'm not allowed to salute you, am I?
No.
Neither can you salute me without uniform.
Yeah.
What is your official name? Because we know you as Shakur, the cop.
My name is Jackson Kuria. Yeah, kwa social media ndio naitwa Instagram, TikTok ndio naitwa Shakur the cop. Yeah.
Were you a fan of that artist?
Not really, but alikuwa ameachieve vitu mingi, so nikiwa na grow up nikaanza kumsikia, so nikaona it's a good name kujipea, so ikastick hivyo mpaka saa hii. So wezianza kuambia watu saa hii naitwa Jackson Kuria, so ikastick Shakur the cop. So nikaendelea tu nayo. Yeah.
Give us an insight into your life. Why the cop?
The cop because I'm a cop. Yeah, so ndio nikaongeza Shakur the cop. Yeah.
And where are you attached?
I'm attached at Kamiti Medium Prison. Yeah, but I was posted in Ruiru Training College. Nilikuwa kama athlete. Yeah.
So you're a prison officer?
Yeah, I'm a prison officer. Yes.
We'll get into your life history in a few. But let's talk about this picture that did rounds on social media.
Yes.
Some people thought that you are representing the disciplined forces and those in the service.
Yeah.
That you yourself are not a prison officer or a police officer, as we call them.
Yes.
How did it come about that you will carry a placard, you will join the protests, and in uniform?
So I think nearly feel like in as a pair government message that we also people who are in uniform are being affected by this, but you cannot do anything. So that's what motivated me. Alafu pia there were some issues kwa finance bill zenye zilikuwa zina affect life yangu personally, and zinge nifanya life yangu pia hapo in future is kwa poa. Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
You're 25?
Yes.
I should have asked, which year were you born?
I was 1998.
So you're a Gen Z yourself?
Yeah, I'm a Gen Z.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up partly in Bungoma, partly in Nairobi, Dagoretti, Uthiru, Kawangware. Yeah.
How was your life growing up? How would you describe it?
Life ilikuwa challenging kidogo juu I'm from a humble background. So imekuwa tu hivyo kupambana Nairobi. Yeah. Kupambana tu.
High school, college, where did you go?
High school nilienda a place called Namachanja High School in Bungoma. Yeah, nikatoka hapo nikaenda na Bongo High School. Then after hapo nika hustle kidogo Nairobi. Kutoka Nairobi hustle kidogo nikarudi nikachukuliwa askari. Yes, so sijaenda college yote bado. Yes.
How did you join the prison service? Was it something you always desired to do? How did you find yourself in the prison service?
Yes, so ni kitu nilikuwa na desire sana. And nilikuwa natamani kuwa askari, uniformed officer. So nilikuwa naenda hizi recruitment na try. Yeah, but luckily for me nilijaribu 2 ya 3 ndio nikachukuliwa. Yes.
Where was that?
In Bungoma.
Okay.
Yeah, tulienda tukakimbia, so juu Bungoma mostly ni Waluya, lakini juu nilikuwa pia Mkikuyu, I think they considered it na nikapewa chance. Yes.
How was the training?
It was tough training, kuamka mapema, kulala few hours, unapata sometimes hata umelala 2 hours. So ilikuwa tricky kidogo, but tulikuwa ile wakati wa corona, so tukajikaza tukamaliza. Yes.
Is there one training that you felt it was too tough for you?
Yeah, kuna places mingi like the drills, kuna ile physical training, yes, na kuanga intense. So you have to be ready kwenda hapo hivyo, but mind yangu ilikuwa ready to train. Yes.
And then you are posted. How was your first day in at the prisons? Now you're a warder, you're there. How was that first day?
I remember my first day, nilijoin Karau nikiwa 21, so my first day nilikuwa mdogo. I was told nilikuwa na escort 3 prisoners. Wawili walikuwa wa murder, mmoja wa manslaughter, so nilikuwa na tense kidogo, nilikuwa naogopa, but with time tukaanza saa kuzoea. Tukazoea and we got used to it. Yes.
What are some of the roles that you have done there, or that you do in the prison? That is a place that many people don't go to because, one, it is secluded, then it is very secure, so we really get to interact with people of your nature.
So pale hivyo kazi yetu ni kucontrol wafungwa, discipline yao. Ya wakiwa na shida wanatuambia, si tunaambia wakubwa. Tuna escort kwa ile process ya rehabilitation, wanaenda wanafanya kazi, mna coach kufanya vitu kama wengine wanaenda tailoring, wengine wanafunzwa farming, vitu kama hizo. So si ndio tunawasimamia kuonyesha fanya hii na hii, alafu pia tunawasaidia na ile process ya rehabilitation. Yeah.
You have been there for quite some time?
Yes.
About 5 years.
5 years.
Have you seen people who have been in prison and they have come out and they've changed and have been assimilated in the society and they've been accepted?
A lot of them. Actually, most of them. Yes.
So what is the challenge in the prisons?
Yeah, I think as a prison officer, sio mingi sana. Can't speak about it, but pia kunazo za inmates, unapata, but with time tunaenda tukigrow. But I think right now vitu mingi zimechange, kama vile wanasemanga maskari wanaharass wafungwa. It doesn't happen much nowadays. Yeah. Imepungua kidogo. Yes.
Do you still keep the friends that you grew up with?
Yeah, I still keep them. Most of them. What? Yes, but wengine tangu nikiwa Karau, kuna wengine wanafichanga vitu zingine. They don't want to share even family. Some things that happen, wanasema jamani Karau, but nah. So I still have all my friends. Yeah.
So are they the ones who told you to join them in the protest, or how did you learn about the protest and decide that I will be part of it and in uniform?
And I felt pia it was my personal decision. I wasn't influenced by anyone. So you could decide. Alafu pia as I've nimekuambia, like kuna vitu mingi zingekuwa zinatu affect in future. Juu mimi pia also have future plans for myself nini. So nikaangalia finance bill, kuna vitu tu zitatu affect sana. Yeah.
What was the most outstanding clauses that you felt that would affect you as
like kama ile ya increase ile vitu bei ya diaper, bread, vitu tunatumia daily. Alafu pia kuna hii ya gari, so in future maybe nitaka kuona gari, unaona ukilipia yearly, nalipia insurance, so life inakuwa hard. Alafu pia sisi maskari, kuna all of us, we are in business, so unaona vitu kama hizo pia zinatu affect. We are also citizens of Kenya. Yeah.
So why did you decide to do that post, or rather join the protests in uniform?
Because I felt itaambia pia watu wa government wajue, like pia these people are suffering in silent. Tunajua most police officers hakuna mse mwenye anaweza speak about life yake, and that's why unapatanga like most of the maskari, unapata most of them wanakufa na suicide. Unapata wengine wanaanza kuwa wezi, na unapata wameanza kutembea na mabunduki because they are suffering and they cannot speak out, so nil feel too I had to do that, and I was in a better position kufanya hivyo juu watu prison officers wengi wanateseka and they can't say anything. Yes.
So you're not just speaking for the prison officers, you're also speaking for the... And by the way, now, can you distinguish or give us a difference between the prison officers and the ones that were on the streets, the police officers?
Yes. So prison officers ni wenye wanakuanga kwa prison, but they act as police pia at times when there's need of backup ya police. So the training is the same, almost comparison, like hakuna difference mingi. Yeah.
So there was a possibility that some of those who were in the protests in uniform could have come from the prison office. I mean, from the prison.
Hata walikuwa wengi. Walikuwa wengi. Most of them actually, hata ningekuwa job ningeenda hizo protest. Yes.
Also, you are not working then.
Yeah, I was not. Sikukuwa job ya siku. Yes.
There is a cabinet secretary.
Yes.
Before they were dismissed, Professor Kindiki said that a police officer is still a police officer, even when he's not in uniform.
Yes. So, like, you know what, one thing, kuna, like, for example, I can say, you can be a police officer and be given an order na ukatae. Like, unaweza ambiwa unlawful order and still you have a right to kukata. But most of the people don't do that because wanaogopa kuwa punished. Yeah, so sikukuwa nafanya kitu mbaya. I was not against the government. I was just saying like this financial bill is I fight for.
So you still knew that there will be consequences as you are doing that?
Yes.
What were the consequences?
Yeah, I was interdicted from work. So my case is ongoing. Yeah.
So the question, you didn't fear these consequences. Why?
Because I think I was ready to be kuwa tule mmoja mwenye, and I think me pia, like, if the government officials saw waliona hizo picture, I think pia wali feel like this thing is wrong. Unaona, ilichangia finance bill kudropiwa, vitu kufanyika and siku regret juu nilijua ili make impact sana kwa society, kwa government and all the things. After
the finance bill protest and the breach of parliament, it was dropped. How did you feel when the president dropped the finance bill?
Nilisikia poa sana, but there were a lot of things pia zingefaa zifanyiwe, kama justice ya watu wenye walikufa. Watu walikuwa na abductiwa. Mimi pia kulikuwa na attempts mingi za kuni abduct. People were coming at my place at night. People were following me. Kuna siku wenye sitaki niseme kama ni coincidence ama ni nini, like I was walking huko Kikuyu, then mtu alikuja na gari, nilikuwa nimesimama kando, akatoka kwa barabara, akatry kuni hit. So I think hizo vitu pia nilikuwa na feel like they shouldn't right now if I kuwa na vitu kama hizo. I was being followed kila time, nakuja natafuta watu, mtu wangu wa Ndudhi anapigiwa, wanaenda kwake, wanatafuta usiku. So nika feel like hizi ni vitu zisifai kufanyika in this generation. So hivyo pia, alafu justice pia ingefaa kufanyika kwa wale watu wenye walikufa. Vitu mingi still pia bado zinafaa zifanyike if tunasema tunaenda forward. Yes.
Do you have an idea of who was following you? Could it be your fellow uniformed officers?
Most probably, but walikuwa in civilians. So I was wondering mbona wanatafuta usiku, and mbona nakuja kwangu, wasemi niende police station yoyote, mbona nafuatwa Ndudhi. There's a Ndudhi that ilikuwa inanifuata sana, na nilirealize inanifuata juu ilikuwa na lights fulani. So ilikuwa inanifuata, so nikajaribu kudodge. So sijui what was going on. Alafu hata pia nikishikwa, the DCI took my phone, wakaenda sijui akaifanya aje. So na feel hizo ni vitu hazifuati constitution ya Kenya. So nika feel hizi vitu, if you're moving forward, hizi vitu pia zinafaa ziaddressiwe. Yes.
Do you fear for your safety even as at now?
Right now, I fear for my safety, but I'm not like siogopi. Do I know what I did was just right. Si kukosea mtu yote, sikuguza mtu. I was just addressing an issue.
Do you have a family yourself?
Yeah, I have a family. I have a daughter. Yes.
And your parents, how did they feel about the entire scenario?
Yeah, first of all, my dad alikuwa proud of me. My brothers walikuwa in support of me. At first, my sisters walikuwa, they were fearing for my life. Still pia na wana feel for my life. But according vitu zimeenda, now they have realized what I was doing. Like I was doing something that is good. So wako tu, they're in support of me. Yeah.
You Gen Zs, and I'm also talking to the ones who are watching. Where are you getting this courage from?
I think ini generation ya wasee wenye ni ngumu sana kuwadanganya. Unajua ukiwadanganya watakushow tu, they won't be afraid. I think that's our difference na hizo generation nyingine. Unajua msee mwingine anaweza mdanganya na nyamazie tu. But the current government imekuwa ina danganya watu. And there's a saying is a fool can only be fooled once. The next time you fool a fool, you'll be the one who is a fool. So, but sisi government imekuwa ina to fool over and over again. So, tumekuwa fools for a long time hata. So, wasee tu wakaamua tu, like, amtatudanganya tena juu. Tumezoea kupewa stories za jaba sana. Yeah.
How about your friends, your peers? When they saw that picture, did they send it back to you? How did they react to it?
Wali send back to it. Walinitumia, wakanionyesha ni mimi. Yeah. Most of them were proud of me. Yeah. I did an amazing thing. Sikukuwa nafanya kitu. Maybe I'm supposed to be in prison kama hiyo. So most of them were proud of me. Even the police officers wengi, even the ones who arrested me, then on the day nilienda parliament, they were saying you are doing something nice. Unatutetea. Yeah. So, but now niwezi ongea. Yeah.
So, okay, there are so many people, I mean, so many groups who are taking advantage of the Gen Z protest and courage. And yet they say they don't have a leader.
Yes.
They don't have a spokesperson.
Yes.
Are you the spokesperson of your generation who are in uniform?
I think I'm not the spokesperson. Siwezi sema hivyo. I think mimi, I felt that hawa watu waongei. Nimekuambia like even kuna a friend of mine ali lose life yake na suicide. There are some of my friends in service wenye they have gone into depression, wako kwa drugs, wenye tu tulitoka nao college, wako sawa. And these are some of the things, you know. When sasa una lose watu hivyo, I've lost like 2 friends. Mmoja alijiua. Yeah, mwingine tu hivyo tu. Mwingine anajinyonga, unaona. Mmoja kwanza mwenye tulichukuliwa na yeye, kuna mwenye alijinyonga, unaona. So vitu kama hizo unaona like hizi vitu, this is a job enye inakulead into depression. Najua apart from your work you're also a human being. Apart from your work wewe unaendanga nyumbani as a person. So I felt what I just did was just ili address kitu.
There are things in the service called standing orders.
Yes.
What do they say about you protesting?
In my service hakuna clause inasema protesting. Hakuna yenye inatoka wanaongelea. And I wasn't protesting. I was just ilikuwa na placard. Pictured in a placard. So that was protesting. I was just putting out a message. Yes. Yes.
So are we likely to see the now police officer? Do you know whether there is such a clause in the National Police Service standing orders?
Yeah, kuna sema tu standing, like nilichajiwa, like the way I was charged nilikuwa na any other conduct. Yes, the one nilikuwa charged na. Yes.
Not specifically protesting?
Not protesting, any other conduct.
What would be your message to the people who are in charge of security in the country regarding the plight of the security officers, including the prison officers?
Yeah, message yangu ni tukue tuna roho poa, and our job is to protect this country. If someone anakuprovoke usiweke sana kwa roho, alafu hivyo tu tufanye tu job poa. And me, I'm not encouraging anyone to do what I was doing. I did out of ilikuwa mimi personally, sikufanya like an uniformed officer manini nasema to protest. No, it was not to encourage anyone to protest, but I was just putting out a message. Yes.
Now, you've told me that your peers sent you that image, and they said they are proud of you.
Yes.
How about your fellow uniformed officers? How did they react to it?
most of them are on, like was saying, thanks for kututetea. They were texting me, some watu wenye hata siwajui. They were texting me, wananiambia good job, unatutetea, tunahangaika huku hivi. And also, not also speaking for ati maskari, I was speaking as a Kenyan. And I knew, nikiwa na hiyo placard, it'll make Agava wajue, like, this is something that these people don't want, and the finance bill was dropped. Yes.
There is a school of thought that says you're chasing clout with some of these antics. Didn't you fear losing your job?
I was not chasing clout or doing anything. I just felt that I was in a better position to do that. Juu sasa mimi, like, I felt like kama mimi ni karao nikisema justice should be done for the people who were murdered, innocently murdered, waki protest peacefully, watoto waliuliwa. So kuna kitu tena ilinitouch. There was a student who died in Juja, JKUAT alikuwa JKUAT. He was abducted, then akapatikana.
Denzel, are you talking about Denzel?
I think ni huyo. Yes. So alafu nikafikiria, nikajiweka kwa shoes ya mzazi wake. Nikaona mzazi wake hata put picture gani na maskari. Mzazi wake ataonaje karao. Unajua most of the people usually hate the police. So alafu mimi pia niko na ile roho ya mbona kitu inafanyika. Unaona, mimi pia si support ati msea uliwe tu for no reason. This is something that is deep, and it was my job at stake. So siwezi sema like na put job yangu at stake ku clutches. I was just doing the correct thing. And kuna saying like I lost my job but I regained my dignity, because like wase wanachukia makarao. So nilikuwa najiweka kwa position ya ule mama mwenye mtoto wake alikufa Ngong. Huyo mama akiona askari every time atakuwa anasema these are bad people, and not all the police are bad, not all the police are rogue. Kuna wase tu wazuri, and it was just to put out a message.
How about your seniors? How did they react?
Kuna wenye walikuwa wanani persecute, kuna wenye wako easy na mimi. Iko tu hivyo. Yes.
Then later you went to parliament in a white dust court.
Yes.
And you again arrested.
Yes.
That was the first time you were arrested.
The first time I was arrested. Yeah. So as nimekuambia, like, watu hiyo walidedi. Even there was a police officer mwenye ndugu yake alikufa parliament. If kama umeona ndugu yake alikufa parliament, hiyo alikuwa analia. Unaona, hiyo kitu ime affect life ya msee yote. If ningejiweka kwa shoes ya huyo msee, like that ime happen kwangu, ningefeel vibaya sana. So alafu watu ilikuwa inamaanisha like justice should be done. Niliona na placard hapo inasema justice should be done. Kuna mapolisi wameua watu wanaonekana tu, and si ati unaua mtu mwenye anakuham. According to the law, mimi ni askari, there is no way naweza taka tu kushoot mtu mse mwenye ani attack. Kuna mtu askari alipiga mse wa media for no reason. Ule journalist because those are wrong things that are being done. And if kama mimi sana sema like I'm doing a mistake, nafaa tufuate constitution. There was no way ule journalist alikuwa na makosa. Yani blood ya damu yake ilimwagika tu bure. Wale watu, so nilifeel hiyo kitu na nikasema jumini karau, if I go and put out this message out there, maybe these people are going to be heard.
Not because you were Gen Z.
Mostly pia kama Gen Z, unaona, juu watu wenye kwa kijana was a Gen Z, most of the people wenye wamekufa ni Gen Z, and I felt parents wao, unajua parents wao, kuna let's assume ule mtoto alikuwa mtoto wa mama mboga. Huyo mama ame hustle his all life kufundisha mtoto, then you take life of mtoto wake mwenye hakukuwa na hamu, mtu wako anaibia, mtu wako anashoot mtu. So I felt that was wrong.
Have you always been an activist?
Not really. Not.
You just happened to be in the moment.
Yeah. But mimi ni mtu mwenye hata at work nikiona like mtu, even if mtu akifanya wrong thing, mimi I'll just say it loudly. I'll just tell you like this is wrong. Kifanyia mtu kitu mbaya, I'll tell you this is wrong. Me, I don't know how to keep quiet. Yes.
Let's talk about the prison service for a few minutes.
Yes.
So many people have been scammed out here.
Yes.
And the saying is, hawa ni watu wa kamiti. That is where you work.
Yes.
How does that happen?
I think kuna inmates tu wanakuanga na simu ndani. and it's very hard kwanza kuwajua, but vitu technology inaendelea kuimprove. Napatanga msee mwingine akona simu ndogo hivi, ndogo tu sana. Most of them wanatoka, hata sisi wanatuskamingi. Kwanza huwa ana hack account zetu za nini, za WhatsApp. Msee ana hack, anaweka profile picture yako, alafu anatumia your fellow colleague, anamuomba do. So pia ina happen kwa sisi.
How do they get that technology in
I don't
prisons?
know. They are smart. Unajua wewe kama as a prison officer, you just go there for 6 hours. Mseme like 8 hours, then you talk. But huyo msee every time he's thinking of something. And atakuwa always smarter than you because yeye ako na whole time ya kufikiria. Wewe uko nafikiria story, shughuli zako, unafikiria vitu zako, so unapata ni smart kukushinda.
So sio nyinyi officers mnawapatia simu?
I don't think so. Sidhani. Wanaendanga unaendanga unapata ameenda kotini, wameenda maybe wapi, unapata tu wamejua vile wameingia nazo ndani.
We are almost coming to a close. But looking at the current political and governance situation in the country since June up to this point, what would you say has been achieved by the protests and what has not been achieved by the protests?
I think kitu imeachiviwa ni finance bill peke yake. Alafu hizo vitu zingine sidhani kama tumeachieve anything. Up to date hakuna justice imefanyiwa, hakuna hata askari mmoja mwenye amechajiwa. But kama uliona like journalist, he wasn't doing anything, akashutiwa. So meaning kuna vitu tu zinafanyika wrong kwa government. Alafu unaona like what the Kenyans are saying is not being done. Unaona kama hizi nominations hizi za CS, tunasema this is a mistake, then the mistake inakuwa repeated. So vitu kama hizo hatuja achieve, bado we have a long way to go. Yes.
But you achieved failing, I mean, stopping the finance bill.
Finance bill, yeah.
Yes. Now, what happens in the future when there is another bill that will come and the public does not sit right with it? That
so
bill?
Like sasa vile if another bill comes, inafaa gava pia engage na wananchi sana kuliko vile walikuwa na engage na wananchi, hivi ndio this thing happened. So I think this is a revolution that is going to make a big change mbele. Si ati wase watakuwa na protest kila siku, but changes zikifanyiwa, this is something that ni kama unaona kama time ya Moi kuja time ya Kibaki, si vitu zilikuwa zina change tu pole pole. Like hizi vitu utakuwa unaziona zinafanyika tena like change. Yeah.
Nyinyi hamko mmezaliwa wakati wa President Moi. How do you know about what happened?
Like tulikuwa tunasoma, tunajua wazazi wetu wanatupea story. Like sasa like for example in time ya Moi unge protest ati vile sisi tuna protest. Time ya Moi kulikuwa na abductions, hizo nini, msee anauliwa, but hizi ni vitu zinafaa tukienda tuzichange tu like right now hiyo police brutality inafaa ikuwe hakuna. Yeah.
You mentioned you have a daughter. A wife?
Wife tumeseparate kidogo. Yeah.
So when your image went round, how is your DM from the ladies? Imejaa, but right now I'm not focused on that. I'm just focused on myself, and my daughter mostly. Yes. How old is she?
She's 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. All right. Anything you'd want to say, because we are coming to an end?
Message yangu ni kwa watu like the Gen Zs, continue fighting for your rights and beware of people who will try and come hapo hivyo kutuscam like chenye imehappen kwa government. Hii revolution ilikuwa about the young people, alafu imekuwa hijacked na wase wa political influence. And make sure in the next election, hata the day before, maybe hata tuseme club zote zisifunguliwe, ndio waseka wasikuwe maybe na hangover. The next elections tuende kwa wingi to vote, to make sure tumevote for the right leaders wenye tunajua ana selfish interest vile tumeona tu. Then people have been offered job, then they are quiet, all of a sudden people have been killed. So hiyo ndio message yangu, tuendelee fight for our rights peacefully and tusichoke. Yeah.
Now that you've been interdicted,
Yes.
what are you doing? Are you going back to the service?
The service, yeah, neza rudi, but right now I think it's a better thing for me to do is to resign and go there pia to chenye what I was fighting for. haijakuwa achieved. Sasa now I want to resign and go and still fight for that thing to be achieved. Yes.
All right. You are on social media, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on social media. So Instagram, nazani follow, I'm Shakur the Cop, Shakur_the Cop. Facebook, Cop Shakur, Twitter, Cop Shakur, and TikTok, Shakur the Cop. I'm not active on TikTok, son. Yes.
Do you think the government should use people like you for maybe communicating their policies and their ideas to the people, because you're influential, people are following social media, and you have a voice now?
Yeah. I think the government should not use people like us, but me, I think sisi nafaa tuambienge government this is supposed to be done, because tukisema they are using us ni kama ni kutupea job, and unajua kitupea job maybe tunaweza keep quiet, but sasa mimi nataka like tukue tunaambia government this is supposed to be done, fanya hivyo. Like right now our politicians, most like kama all of them they have been bought kwa government, is like there's no opposition. So our si watakuwa wanafanya anything and nothing will be done. Watakuwa wanasema hii kitu ifanyike, wanaongeza like maybe kama ile house levy, hakuna msemanya anapinga hapo hivyo. So hivyo kitu kama kunafaa ikuwe tu hivyo, like should be tell the government, na inafaa pia to engage, tuambie mnataka aje na hapa na hapo na hivi, like kama hiyo bill, finance bill ikuje, like juu imehappen hivi, next time wakiwa hivyo waende around kwa nchi waulize wananchi, is this good? Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Shakur. And Jackson Kuria.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and giving us a history of how you found yourself in the midst of the protests, and whose voice were you raising?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Shukran sana.
Yes. That's the story of Jackson Kuria, alias Shakur the Cop. I hope you've understood his point of view and whose voice he was raising during the protests. Now the question is, what happens after this? He has given us his story, and you be the judge. My name is Kingori Wangeshi. This has been my story right here on Tuko. Social media activism, and you're watching this clip on social media. I think a platform of our social media. But if you'd like to improve social media skills so that you can also improve your knowledge skills, this is what you do.
How do you get a start in digital marketing? You can start with this Tuko copywriting course. You learn creative writing techniques, social media copywriting, SEO, how to use AI tools effectively, attracting new clients, and more. Enroll now.